Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Factorio with Lone Debater 7, and today we're going to be working on getting purple science set up. So first things first, we need to get some smelteries built. So I am utilizing the robots to help me out with that. So what I've got some coal being split off of a belt just because there isn't really a good source of coal nearby, unfortunately. I've got two copper sets of 15 drills feeding this guy right here to get us copper. This guy right here is going to get us iron once it's all built out, and this guy right here is going to get us steel. So you put coal in on the side like that, and it's going to go through and do its deal and feed up, and this makes iron on the bottom, steel on the top, so not a big deal. You do need to supply it with iron on both of those, or iron ore rather, to both of those. So I've got 30 drills for this belt and 30 drills for this belt. So what I'm going to do is just split this one, and I think that will be enough, in all honesty. Like that, hopefully that's enough iron ore to run this. But once the robots finish building all of this, we should have all the materials being produced that we're going to need. The only other one that we really need to link up to the Purple Science Factory is stone. I went ahead and took a look at the blueprint just to see. So it takes iron, steel, copper, and stone. That's all that it takes, so not too bad. The rest of it just kind of produces on its own, so not a big deal. We're going to set up another little bit of stone as well, just so we can kind of get stuff cooking here. I do need some more roboports though, just so I can make sure that everything gets built up the way it's supposed to be. So I think they built one. Okay. So I mean, I'd like to set this up with more steel, but unfortunately they're just, like, I set up this steel refinery right here to try to do that. I don't have enough iron going to it, I guess, so where am I pulling the iron from? Right here? There's not enough iron ore for it is the issue. Okay. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. Like, it's fine. I'm not too worried about it. Eventually, we'll hook up more steel to that factory just so we get roboports a little bit more reliably, because we do use them. Like, this blueprint, for example, takes 2 roboports to build, right? So the fact that we don't have any being built really because we're lacking steel is kind of an issue, but I don't really want to fuck with fixing it at this point, if I'm honest. I guess we could, like, try to steal. So I just placed this here to buffer some steel in manually, more than basically. I mean, that's what I did. So let me just go throw in some steel by hand real quick so I can make a couple more of these, because we need them. I mean, I want them so I can expand out our robot reach, and I'm also going to need them for the Purple Science Factory when we put down that blueprint. So not a big deal. We'll get there. It's just all the other stuff in this is still building up to its buffer, so it's not quite ready, unfortunately. But that's okay. That is okay. So more steel's flying in. Great. Throw in this little stack. This is making gear wheels for this, so that's fine. If it's limited by gear wheels, I'm not too worried because I've got plenty of iron and copper on this belt for it, but the steel is an issue. It's not really getting any, so no worries. As these start to buffer, so like that one's buffered, and that one's almost buffered. So like really, it's once this belt here fills up with steel chests, we'll be good. That won't happen until this one reaches its second stack of 50 though. So we've got a little bit of time on that, unfortunately. But it's okay. I can manually feed some stuff in here as well just to keep things rolling. Because I want these roboports built. I need them. So I've got 5 in my inventory. That's actually not too bad. Basically where I'm getting the steel from in my inventory, I have a logistics slot telling the robots to bring me steel. And it's linked to our steel furnace chest over there. There's like 3,000 steel or some ungodly amount of fucking steel in that chest. So we've got steel, just we don't have steel right here, and I can't do the research for the active requester chests or requester chest, whatever the fuck it's called, to say, hey, put steel in this chest, and then we'll just put it straight onto the belt, and that'll fix the issue. So it's all right. We'll get there eventually. We are running a little low on red circuits, but that's all right. I don't think we actually need too many red circuits. Those are really just used for the stack inserters, which I'm not even using. So that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. So it looks like the copper one's all built. That's great. This iron one is probably just out of range, is what the issue is, and same with the steel one. So we'll put down another RoboPort here. We're going to link these up. So this guy needs power as well, so we'll just do something like that. We'll throw another one like right over here so it can power the steel factory too. And this is going to need another RoboPort almost certainly, so I'd like to kind of move it though, so it's, you know, utilizing the full range, if you get what I'm saying. So we'll do that, and we'll just connect it like this, I guess. It'll have power eventually at that RoboPort, it just doesn't right now, so not a big deal. Not a big deal. I guess we can like force power to it like this, just because it's going to get robots over here that want to recharge and they won't be able to recharge, so okay, why doesn't that have power though? Like, there should be power there. There we go. Okay, fine. So there's that. That should build all of this stuff out. I guess that's supposed to be broken like that. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. So there we go. The smelteries are almost built. That's good. Let's see. I guess we can do this combat robotics research. I'm just going through and doing the ones that take military science, not really prioritizing anything over another, because it doesn't necessarily matter. We're not doing that much with combat stuff, but we do need to produce a little bit of stone. So let's see if we can't fit one of these, which we can. Cool. And we do need to supply this with the RoboPort so it'll get built. But there we go. We've got our stone. So we've got basically once the robots finish building this stuff, we'll have all the inputs that we need in order to build Purple Science, which will be really good, honestly. I'm looking forward to it. Break this rock. And I'm just going to have the steel come in this way, I guess. I mean, in theory, I could split this and send some of it over to that high-tech factory or whatever that needs steel, and this would probably produce enough to kind of supply that, but that's alright, we'll fuck with that later. First and foremost, I'm just going to get all of our belts over on this side, and I think I'm just going to put the Purple Science Factory up here. We are kind of lacking on space as it is, a little bit closer, so it's kind of like, why not try doing it this way? I know there's enough space up here. There's not really any biters that are super close by, so we should be alright. And this is up where all the smelteries are, so I won't have to run, you know, the raw resources quite as far. So let's do that. These guys are all waiting to recharge is what's happening, which is kind of annoying because there's only one fucking RoboPort there. Like, go to a different one. But it's alright. The robots are good, they just aren't always the smartest when it comes to recharging and stuff like that, but we'll go ahead and bring our copper line up this way too. And then we'll go ahead and blueprint out the Purple Science Factory and see if we can connect these bad mamas up and get ready to rock and roll. So let's see. This is the monstrosity that is Purple Science. We are going to need to supply this with oil as well, which is not too big of a deal, but something to be noted. So let's go ahead and place him right there. That's where I want it. I'm going to put in the RoboPorts manually, that way the construction robots don't get all pissy and get upset. So there's that. I do need to connect power up over to this thing as well, so that's fine. We can power up that one, and then as they fill in all these power poles and shit, we'll be fine. So, oh, it does take coal as well. So Alright, copper and iron go in these ones, and then... Does this one actually not take steel? Did I build that steel factory for nothing? No, it does. Okay, good. I was about to get upset if it didn't actually take steel, because I spent all that time building steel. Here we go. So, I think steel was this one. Stone goes over this way too, so we can bring both of them in. And I do need to bring some coal over, so that's not too bad. I can just pull it from the input belts, more or less. So there's that. Purple comes out there, so I need iron and copper right here. So we'll take over iron. Bring him down like this. Just so we've got enough space. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. There's iron. And then we do need copper right next to it. And then coal goes into the one that's left. So we need coal right there. That should be pretty easy to finagle because these do output coal on the very end, so I can just do something like this to bring up the coal. The only issue is this should really be moved over. That way I can run it straight in and not have to worry about it. Perfect. There's that. So I want coal to go in right here. And then as the robots kind of finish building out this factory, we will be getting purple science built. I do want to hook up oil. And actually I need to build all these refineries and stuff by hand. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10 refineries and 5 chem plants, so that's fine. We'll build the chem plants first. And then the refineries, just so this is ready to go. Like, I think I've got everything else produced automatically, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But anyway, so they're breaking those rocks, cool. So this is slowly being built. It just takes it a little bit of time. Not a big deal. Not too worried about it. Like, we do need to get the oil set up though. So, oh, cliff in the way. Great. So I need to make some cliff explosives. Can I just build those in my hand? Pretty sure I've done the research for that. I need 10 regular explosives, which are probably built in one of these. God damn it. Sulfur, water, coal. Great. Okay, well, fuck. I didn't realize there was a cliff there. But I don't want to move the factory now that it's like halfway built. So let's go see if we can find a little lake or a puddle or something so I can get water into this factory and fucking just build some explosives by hand so we can blow up that cliff. And actually what I can do is I can put the cliff explosives inside of a passive provider chest and it should work the same. I guess while we're down here we can also pull oil up off of this as well. Because we do have a buffer of oil, just raw crude right here, 25k. So we can use that. It's actually not as far away as I thought it was going to be, so. Explosives, it's got water, I need sulfur and coal, both of which are relatively easy to get. I've got sulfur right up here, so I can just grab a little bit of sulfur. And then coal, I've got on these belts, so I can just come over, pull off a little bit of coal. And actually it would have been smarter to do that belt, but that's okay. I don't want all this stone just because it's in the way. I want the inventory space, so we'll do that. So we've got, I think this is going to be everything we're going to need. So let's go in, throw in our coal, throw in our sulfur, and actually let me grab a little bit more sulfur. Thought I grabbed more than that, but that's okay. So grab some more sulfur, and I only need 10 of these, so it's not like I need a whole hell of a lot. I do need to figure out our power though, because it looks like power is kind of jack. Because we should be We were supposed to be able to produce like 100 or like 60. So... Okay, great. We're gonna have to deal with power here in a minute. Fuck it. Let that run while we build power stuff, I guess. Production? Is that where it's at? So, 5, 10... And then I need 30 of these, really. But I probably don't have the pipe, is my guess. Yeah. Alright. Well, lucky for us, there's some pipe right here. Not a whole hell of a lot of pipe, but should be enough. Grab those two. Because we're going to want the underground pipe to move the oil up to that factory to run it. So, no worries. I just want to get this dealt with before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to have an issue with not having enough power, and then everything will stop. Which is not what you want to have happen. So, I think there should be enough water to power all these, I would think. If not, I can throw another offshore pump. Those are pretty easy and cheap to build. So, do this real quick. And then we can start filling these in. And I think, technically speaking, these can take more than, you know, like 3 of these for each boiler. I just want to make sure they have maxed out on steam, so I don't have to worry about them not being able to run or something weird like that. So there's that. But adding all of these, this is another 30 of the whatchamacallit, of the engines or whatever, so that should be pretty good on power. Like, hopefully that will be enough to run our Purple Science factory. Like, that's what put our power requirement so high up, is the fact that we're building that factory and all the smelteries and stuff like that. Like, it all takes a lot of power, so not too big of a deal. I just should have expanded our power before placing those down, but I didn't, so whatever. I need another 5. Okay, we can do that. So let's go ahead and just put the power cables down, because they always go in the same spot. Like, I don't even need to do that necessarily. Like, there's probably a more efficient way to lay down the power poles, but you know what? This works. So I'm not gonna split hairs. And there's no coal on this belt now. Fuck me. And that's because power is suffering pretty badly. I'm just gonna speed this belt up by changing it to red. Where can I get more coal from? I can't upgrade the whole thing to red, unfortunately. I guess I could split some off of this belt and send it in the top, and then throw down a couple more drills, maybe. Something like that might work pretty good. Just to at least give it a little bit. And then we'll just throw on a couple more drills here. Granted, there's not a lot of power, so that's part of the issue as well. There's not enough power to run all the drills at full speed. So that is an issue too, but let's try that and see how that goes. I probably have some coal in my pack that I can put in this chest down here to kind of like manually buffer some. So like this guy right here I can throw coal into, and it will put it onto the belt for me. Granted, it's going slow as hell because, you know, there's no power to run the inserters, but that's okay. Do this. And really I can run fast belts all the way up to there, but then those are all burner inserters, so they won't be able to grab the coal off if I do the rest as fast. So great. Let's go ahead and just put these guys on, and I guess we'll power them at the same time, might as well. So I think I can get 2, oh, not quite 2 in each one. It's like every other you can do too, or something like that. Okay, there we go. So those are all powered. They just need some coal, which is coming down the line, so that's good. Some more fast belts to get it fed a little bit better. Yeah, this kind of sucks. I should have kind of paid attention to that. I guess we could also throw like a filter inserter on the end of this and have it grab coal for us. And then any excess coal on this line will just be fed into the generators. Like that could work too. Sure, do that. I don't have any red belts coming to me, probably because the robots need power. But alright, well, what I'm going to do, we're going to wrap up here for today. And when we come back, we'll come back after our power situation's kind of fixed itself. And we'll finish building the Purple Science Factory. If you enjoyed the episode today, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. And until next time, this has been Lone Debater 7, and we will see ya.